Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unravel the confusing world of corporate finance. And today we're diving into Conduent's latest report, and let's just say things are getting very interesting as they talk about cyber events and divesting businesses. Before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed for these kinds of deep dives and join our Discord community linked in the description below this video. Alright, so what we have here is a Form 8K filing from Conduent Inc, a company that provides business services, and if you're not familiar with Conduent, they were actually spun off from Xerox years ago, and they handle a lot of back office stuff for big companies and governments, think processing toll payments or managing benefits programs. This particular report filed on August 6, 2025 is about their second quarter results for 2025, and it's pretty standard in that they're releasing their earnings press release and an investor presentation. But the devil is really in the details here, and this filing touches on some pretty significant things. Let's start with what Conduent is telling us about their operations. They've released their second quarter 2025 earnings. And the big news is that they are furnishing the SEC with a copy of their earnings press release and also their investor presentation. Now, this is important because while they're sharing this information, it's not being officially filed in the same way that other parts of these reports are. This is a bit of a legal distinction that means it's not subject to the same strict liability rules if something in that press release or presentation turns out to be incorrect. Now, normally we'd skip over the boring stuff like phone numbers and addresses, but sometimes these filings give us clues about their core business. Conduent Incorporated is based in New Jersey and is incorporated in New York. Their stock ticker symbol is CNDT and it trades on the NASDAQ Global Select Market. Their common stock, which represents ownership in the company, is traded under the symbol CNDT on the NASDAQ. This is the primary way investors can buy into Conduent. The main event here is the release of their financial results for the second quarter of 2025. They're essentially telling everyone here that they put out their earnings and that this report contains that information. They also held an earnings call, so if you're an investor, you could have listened in on the company's management discussing these results, and the presentation they used during that call is also being furnished as part of this SE filing. Now let's get to the meat of what's in this filing. We have Exhibit 99.1, which is the actual earnings press release, and Exhibit 99.2, which is the investor presentation, both dated August 6, 2025. And importantly, there's also Exhibit 104 for the cover page interactive data file, which makes it easier to digest the financial information. This next part is really critical in any SEC filing, because it's where the company tells you what they think will happen in the future. They use words like anticipate, believe, estimate, expect, and plan. They're basically setting expectations and telling you all the things that could go wrong to protect themselves legally if these future events don't actually happen. This section is packed with warnings and potential problems for Conduent. They're talking about government contracts and the risk if they can't get paid back for what they spend on those contracts. Competition is a big factor too, meaning they could lose business to rivals. They also mentioned their reliance on others to provide services, which can be risky if those partners don't deliver. Geopolitical events, natural disasters, and global economic conditions are also highlighted as potential disruptors to their business, affecting their employees, customers, and suppliers. This is a really important area of risk for a company like Conduent. They handle a lot of sensitive data for their clients, and if they don't follow the rules around protecting that information, especially personal health information, they could face huge fines and legal trouble. Now, this is probably the most significant and concerning part of the filing. They're explicitly talking about a cyber event that happened in January 2025. This is a big red flag. They're mentioning their ongoing investigation, their efforts to fix it, and the potential disruption to their business operations and their reputation. They're even trying to assess the financial and operational impacts of this breach. This is something investors will be watching very closely. A major cyber attack can be devastating to a company's trust and bottom line. They're also talking about recent divestitures, which means they've been selling off parts of their business. There are risks associated with these sales, including not getting the expected benefits, running into unexpected costs, or even delays. Selling off parts of a business can be a strategic move, but it also comes with its own set of challenges and potential downsides. They're selling off things like their health savings account business, their curbside management and public safety solutions, and their casualty claims solutions. This suggests they are trying to streamline their operations and focus on core areas. High debt levels can be a serious concern for any company. This means Conduent has borrowed a lot of money and they have to pay interest on it. If they struggle to generate enough cash flow, it becomes harder to manage this debt. This directly relates to profitability. Can they charge enough for their services to make a good profit? And can they get their costs under control? If not, their financial health will suffer. Losing even one big client can have a major impact on a company like Conduent. They are clearly aware of this risk and are highlighting it. Finally, we have the signatures. This is where the company officially states that they've authorized this report. George Abate, Vice President and Chief Accounting Officer, is signing off on this. Now let's put it all together. Conduent is going through a period of significant change. They're dealing with the fallout of a major cyber event impacting their operations and reputation. Simultaneously, they're actively divesting businesses, which is a strategic move to reshape the company. From a high-level view, Conduent is trying to navigate a complex market. The cyber event is a massive risk, and how they manage its aftermath will be crucial. The divestitures suggest a strategy shift, possibly towards more profitable or less risky ventures, but as the filing points out, these transitions are never smooth and can bring unexpected costs. Their debt level is something to watch, especially if revenue or profitability falters. The company's ability to secure pricing for its services and manage its costs will be key indicators of its future financial health. Overall, Conduent appears to be in a defensive position, trying to mitigate risks and restructure. The cyber incident is a serious distraction and a potential drain on resources and confidence. While divestitures can streamline a business, they also represent a period of uncertainty. Investors should be looking for clear evidence of recovery from the cyber attack and successful integration of the restructured business. The company's stated goals in the investor presentation will be important to analyse against these significant challenges. Alright, that's our breakdown of Conduent's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future, especially with that cyber event and the business sales? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.